This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. All right, here's some news.
It was the redheaded stepchild.
King Kong Bundy is still with the company. He missed the tapings because of walking pneumonia, and Henry Godwin was given his spot and his push, including Bundy's original match against Bam Bam Bigelow on July 23rd. Bundy's being phased down because it's been readily acknowledged his matches have been poor. Although the weekend he worked against Bigelow on top at the B shows in New Jersey, which drew 12,000, 20,000, and 25,000 respectively. The A-Team with Diesel and Sid in cage matches, and Undertaker and Kamala in casket matches with Jarrett and Shawn Michaels for the IC title drew 41, 55, and 105,000 in Columbus, Indianapolis, and Chicago. Bigelow and Baum broke the ring the first two nights. The first night the ring ropes broke, and the second night one of the metal supports broke. A lot to unpack here. First of all, the other show, I mean, these A and B shows, boy, they could not be different in the amount of money they're drawing, you know, from 25,000 compared to 105,000. Do you totally contribute that to one piece of talent, or is it a combination of things? Is it the combination of Diesel, Undertaker, and Shawn, or is it mostly Undertaker? What do you, I mean, the Undertaker in a casket match is an attraction in any year, but in 95, it was even another level, was it not?
Absolutely. And it's attraction driven, but it's also market driven. And the B shows were specifically, easy for me to say, marketed to smaller markets. And those were your high school gyms. Those were your just much smaller venues and smaller arenas. They weren't meant to draw that $100,000 gate. They were meant to go in and do $50,000 and get out of there with profit and move on to the next one. They didn't have the expenses of the A shows and the larger venues. So the disparity in what we drew, that was, you couldn't have drawn 100,000 in some of those markets.
Let's also talk about Bigelow and Adam Baum breaking the ring. This is sort of post Hogan Kamala era, but still, two big old boys with Bigelow and Adam Baum breaking the rings. Is this around the time you guys started to loosen up on the stiffer rings, or is this just the stiffer rings wearing out? I know there was definitely sort of a before and after of how the rings changed. And I think you've explained privately before that maybe some of that was Vince actually getting in the ring, but when you're seeing the rings breaking like this, it makes me sort of scratch my head and think, is this before or after?
No, this was basically, man, two big boys in there that were beating the shit out of the ring, and nothing more, nothing less. These were still the concrete rings, I like to call them. They were brutal.
How was Bundy to work with at this point? You know, but we're acknowledged here in the newsletter that his matches on top or have been poor, to say the least. And I know that you've always used the Ernie Ladd joke, but realistically, what was it like working with Bundy in this era? I mean, did he know that he wasn't meeting the mark for you guys?
I think that Bundy kind of at this time was in a bit of a time lapse, and felt that what he was doing was enough, but it just wasn't. He didn't have it anymore. He didn't care. And it just was, it wasn't good. I mean, he wasn't there. He wasn't the King Kong Bundy of old. The King Kong Bundy of old had some snap in his step, and this King Kong Bundy did not. Great guy. One of the funniest son of bitches in the locker room, but I don't think that Chris cared at this point.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.